The story begins with the hero, Yuga, gathering outside the Demon Lord's castle with his loyal party. Before entering the castle, the party members hype each other up for the final battle. Soon, the castle's gates open and several sinister eyes peek out from within. After the party enters the castle, they are greeted by the Demon Lord's general, Yoki, who arrogantly taunts them for being too weak. The party's mage tries to attack Yoki with an energy blast, but he easily dispels it. Next, the swordsman tries to melee him, but Yoki dodges him attack and sends him back with a kick. Finally, the support mage, Cecilia, uses an enhancement spell on Yuga, who unleashes his ultimate spell, Excalibur, towards Yoki. Yoki retorts with his own endless dark spell, which clashes with the hero's Excalibur. After a power struggle, Yoki overwhelms the hero and defeats the whole party on his own, lying on the ground, defeated. Yuga wonders if this is the end of the road for him and his friends. After Yuga passes out, Yoki starts healing all the defeated heroes. However, he notices that the support mage looks very pretty and ends up distracted by her looks. After some time, he brings the heroes to a prison in the castle. Inside, Yoki's subordinates ask him if they should kill the heroes. Yoki gets shocked by their presence, so all of his subordinates start calling him out for staring at the unconscious Cecilia. Finally, Yoki sighs and tells them to dump the heroes near a human village, painfully saying goodbye to his angelic crush. After a month, the Demon Lord summons Yoki straight to his room. There, his right-hand man, Zekil, asks Yoki how many times he had to deal with the heroes returning for a challenge. Yoki tells him that they've challenged him 13 times already, so Zekil thinks that the heroes are a bunch of weaklings who can't learn their lesson. The Demon Lord wonders why Yoki still hasn't ended the heroes' lives yet. In response, Yoki explains that those miserable heroes don't even deserve his attention. Hearing this, the Demon Lord suggests letting his subordinates handle the task and eliminate the heroes in his place. Surprised, Yoki thinks that his poor servants stand no chance against the hero's power, since he also doesn't want the pretty support mage to get hurt. He offers to dispose of the heroes by himself. The Demon Lord smiles, silently agreeing to let Yoki handle it. As Yoki leaves the throne room and heads back to his room, he feels worried for the heroes' lives. He also knows that he's the only one overpowered enough to defeat the heroes. Otherwise, they are strong enough to kill the Demon Lord. In the end, Yoki wonders what he should do next, since the Demon Lord will soon rule over the entire world. The next day, the heroes return to the Demon Lord's castle once more. After Yoki knocks back their swordsman and Yuga, the assault mage, Mikana, tries to counterattack with her own spell. Even though Yoki blocks her initial barrage of spells, Mikana quietly unleashes a second wave right after, catching him by surprise. Despite this, Yoki still reacts in time to block it, and his lightning-fast reflexes leave Mikana completely shocked. Meanwhile, Yoki notices Cecilia healing her friends, which causes him to blush. He then starts laughing and taunts the heroes for their futile attempts at defeating him. Still, Yuga refuses to give up and uses a powerful Excalibur spell to stop him. Unfortunately, Yoki easily survives the attack and tells the heroes they can never defeat him. Yuga refuses to quit, saying that they have no other choice but to keep going if they want to defeat the evil Demon Lord. Hearing this, Yoki suddenly points to Cecilia and tells the heroes they can continue forward if they leave her behind. Yuga instantly refuses, but Mikana suggests accepting Yoki's offer. She points out that this powerful demon can kill them whenever he wants, so they should accept his kindness and complete their true mission. Yuga still refuses to abandon their precious teammate, but at that moment, Cecilia speaks up and tells him that she's willing to stay behind. Finally, Yuga and the party move forward, promising to return for their priestess after they defeat the Demon Lord. Once they all leave, Cecilia asks Yoki why he made her stay behind. Thinking that he still wants to fight, she tries to use an attack. However, Yoki quickly surrenders and tries to negotiate with her. Cecilia questions why he's bothering to introduce himself when he plans to kill her anyway. He responds that if he truly wanted her dead, he would have done it from the very beginning. At last, she relaxes and asks him what it is that he wants. Yoki gathers his courage and admits that he fell in love with her at first sight. Admitting saying that he wants to go out with her. Cecilia is left completely shocked. After giving it some thought, she politely turns down his offer. Her rejection is so crushing that Yoki loses all his will to live. Cecilia thinks that he was just trying to trick her and tries to attack him again. However, since Yoki doesn't even bother defending, she stops her attack midway. Yoki tells her to keep going and finish him off since he doesn't want to live anymore. Cecilia refuses to believe that he'd give up so easily, so he explains that he has been trapped in the Demon Lord's castle for his entire life. He reveals that he's only allowed to go out to destroy human villages, but he never wanted to do that. Surprised, Cecilia refuses to believe him, saying that all demons are evil. Yoki explains that even if he looks like a demon, he was actually reincarnated from another world. Cecilia feels confused, so Yoki tells her that he's actually a human inside the body of a demon. She realizes that Yoki must have incredible powers as a reincarnated person, so she wonders why he hasn't defeated the Demon Lord on his own. Yoki explains that if he defeated the Demon Lord, he would become the next leader of the demons, which would force him to commit terrible atrocities against humankind. Since Yoki felt helpless, he thought that he'd spend the rest of his life miserably rotting away in his cell. However, that's when he met Cecilia, who gave him hope that life was worth living. Yoki thinks that he's ready to give up on everything since even his last hope rejected him. Suddenly, Cecilia tells him that he should keep living and use the power he has to help humanity. She thinks that he can serve another purpose in life and offers to help him move to the outside the world. A few days later, the Kingdom of Clarinus holds a celebration for all their heroes on their victory against the Demon Lord. King Darts congratulates all the heroes before him for protecting their world from a great evil and announces that their kingdom will hold a 3-day celebration in their honor. Outside the kingdom, Yoki watches from a secluded spot. Knowing that Cecilia lives there, to disguise himself as a normal human, he painfully breaks off his demon horn and enters the kingdom. Meanwhile, Makana congratulates Yuga on their victory, and he feels overjoyed. He then turns to Cecilia to celebrate, knowing that their win was thanks to her, which causes Makana to feel neglected. A little while later, Yoki enters the city's adventurers guild to register himself. The lazy receptionist, Clayman, sighs and pulls out the registration form. After Yoki signs the form, Clayman gives him a guild card and explains that he'll start at the lowest F rank, which goes up to S rank. He explains that Yoki can take commissions to rank up, but it normally takes an adventurer a full month to reach E rank. Then, he warns Yoki not to lose his card and wishes him good luck. After getting his card, Yoki completes a bunch of missions and gets enough money to rent an inn. A week later, he enters the guild again, where all the adventurers are discussing a rising adventurer who is ranking up crazy fast. Meanwhile, Yoki asks Clayman for some more commissions, but the lazy receptionist gets enraged since he doesn't want to deal with any paperwork today and tells him to talk to the pretty lady next to him instead. However, Yoki refuses, saying that he likes spending time with Clayman instead. Putting that aside, Clayman asks Yoki about his real identity, knowing that no normal person can go from F to D rank in just a week. Yoki tries to pretend he doesn't know, so Clayman sighs, saying that he can't persecute him since he hasn't done anything illegal. Just then, a hooded girl walks in and asks Clayman to cancel Yoki's missions. Surprised, Yoki realizes that the hooded girl is Cecilia. Clayman also wonders why the hero priestess is visiting the guild, so Cecilia tells him to keep his voice down. She then turns to Yoki and invites him to her house for a private chat. As they ride in Cecilia's carriage, Yoki wonders why a girl invited him home. When they reach Cecilia's house, one of the guards gets suspicious after seeing Yoki coming out of the carriage. He points his spear at Yoki and demands to know why he was with Cecilia, so she steps out and explains that he's her friend. Then, another guard drags his partner away, and Cecilia takes Yoki inside for tea. There, she apologizes for not finding him sooner, but Yoki doesn't mind. He wonders how she managed to find him in such a massive city, and she explains that he's become extremely popular in town after climbing all the way to D rank in such a short time. Because of that, she asks him to quit the Adventurers Guild, which leaves him completely confused. She explains that after Yuga defeated the Demon Lord, the other nations have started a proxy war to take power. She reveals that Yuga is already getting plenty of offers from the rulers, including women, money, and all the power he could dream of. While Yoki feels jealous of the hero, he also realizes that the nations are just trying to use him as a pawn. Cecilia then points out that with his extraordinary power, Yoki would also attract similar attention from the nations wanting to use his strength. Since since he's even stronger than the hero. She fears that Yoki's power would be misused to take over the world. Yoki understands her fears, but he also reminds her that he has bills to pay. Cecilia offers to hire him herself, but she admits that she doesn't have the money worth his time. She then begs him to accept her offer, but suddenly, Yoki tells her to raise her head. He confidently declares that even if the most beautiful woman on earth were offered to him, he would never accept it since he only has eyes for Cecilia. This makes her laugh, and Yoki feels embarrassed by his own big words. Soon, Cecilia's mother, Celia, also enters the room. She apologizes to Yoki for her guard's rude behavior and sends her maid, Sophia, to discipline him. Once the maid leaves, Celia reveals that her daughter is already getting many engagement offers. Yoki gets shocked since even the hero, Yuga, tried confessing to Cecilia, but she reassures him that she turned him down. Seeing Yoki's flustered reaction, Celia wonders if he also likes her daughter. She then sits with him and asks if he'd like to marry Cecilia. Shocked, Yoki wonders if she's testing him, but Celia tells him to give her a straight answer. Then, he shakes his head, explaining that he has already been rejected by Cecilia once. Yoki explains that he's currently trying to build a stable life as an adventurer to propose to Cecilia again. Celia asks if he's refusing her generous offer, so Yoki tells her that he'll still respect Cecilia's feelings. Finally, Celia approves of Yoki's conduct and explains that she was just testing him to see if he jumped at the chance, since she wouldn't marry her daughter to just any desperate creep. She approves of Yoki and allows him to visit their house in the future. Afterward, Cecilia tells Yoki that her mother might be interested in him. While Yoki still feels uneasy about her mom, he appreciates the chance she gave him. He then asks if he can call her by her first name, and she agrees, calling him by his first name in return. Overjoyed, Yoki cheers loudly, feeling like he is one step closer to the girl he loves. That was episode 1. Subscribe to not miss the next part and watch the next video on screen.